Hello, greetings to you from Mongolia. My name is ERDENECHIMEG Ulziisuren. I'm a founder and current president of Mongolian Evaluation Association and also 2022 IPDET on-site alumni. And I'm so honored to share with you about some of the key intakes from the Bern training and what's been going on since then at Mongolian Evaluation Association based on the learnings I gained from IPDET on-site course. So now I would like to share with you my presentation. All right, so the topic today I would like to discuss today with you is the contribution of evaluation for good governance and democracy, and also Mongolian Evaluation Association's update. So prior to coming to IPDET in Bern, Steffi, the program director of IPDET, asked all the participants if any of one of us would volunteer to facilitate one of the stands during the participants forum in the second week of the workshop. So I volunteered to do so for the topic of contribution of evaluation for good governance and democracy. The reason why I chose this topic is because our Mongolian Evaluation Association was just newly born at the time. I think it was only 10 months old. So it is a very important thing for our association to promote good governance through professionalization and institutionalization of evaluation at the national level. So here we are. In order to facilitate the dialogue, I did some literature review, and I found a very good paper on evaluation culture and its relationship with governance. And there's no index on good governance, but there's a good proxy to that one, which is Corruption Perception Index developed by Transparency International. So on the left side, you see there's a scatter plot of showing correlation between CPI, which is Corruption Perception Index, and evaluation culture. So evaluation culture is also a composition of some of the evaluation-related components, such as if the country has law, or if the country has a WOPE, if the country has some good advocacy work going on, etc. So the data shows that there's a very good positive relationship between these two variables. So the higher the evaluation culture is, the higher the good governance in the country. So during the workshop in Bern, the first module was done, taught by Dr. Reinhardt, who is on this picture, smiling. So he touched upon this issue of good evaluation and then its relationship with countries, governance and development issues. So he argues that there are two big components. One is institutionalization of evaluation, and another is professionalization of evaluation. And institutionalization of evaluation has these components of use and institutionalization, whether the country has laws and strategies on evaluation, if there's any organizational embedding role in the audit court, and there are active use from the country's side. And on the other hand, there's a component of professionalization of evaluation. So it has 5 indicators, whether the country has academic master's program or any academic program, if the country has WOPEs, voluntary organization for professional evaluations, such as associations, societies, and the country, whether the country has academic level of journals on evaluation and national standards, etc. So these are quite a big topic and encompasses quite national level lens of analyzing the topic of evaluation and its impact in the country. So during the participants from I asked only 2 of these questions from each of the big 2 components. So I asked whether the country has evaluation, national law or policy on evaluation, and whether the country has a WOPE, voluntary organization for professional evaluation. So I was able to talk with representatives of 7 countries. And you see here on the left side, the that I jotted down the answers of the 2 questions from each country. It's representative. So we had Serbia, Azerbaijan, Brazil, Ukraine, Mongolia, Rwanda, South Africa, and Ukraine. So as you see that Serbia has the government has a policy on evaluation, which was adopted in 2018. No existence of evaluation association, and Azerbaijan has no law on evaluation, also no evaluation association or WOPE. Mongolia has law on policy planning and development and its management, which was adopted in 2020, and Mongolian Evaluation Association was founded in 2021. Rwanda has Ministry of Evaluation and Planning, and it has a Rwandan Evaluation Association founded in 2018. Brazil has Consilium Evaluation. I think it's a form of evaluation unit at the government level. And is already a policy-related evaluation-related policy document and was adopted 2018. And the WOPE was established quite early in 2018, and it has quite active engagement of evaluation youth. And South Africa, they have National Evaluation Framework adopted in 2011 and updated in 2019. And SAMIA, South African Monitoring and Evaluation Association, which was founded in 2000. And Ukraine, the country has no law on policy yet, on evaluation policy on evaluation yet, but they have Ukrainian Evaluation Society, which was established in 2012. And also I plotted the corruption perception index by each country. So you can see the score related to each country. And the lowest in the chart is Azerbaijan, Ukraine, Mongolia. We have Azerbaijan has CPI score of 30, Ukraine 32, Mongolia 35. So the lower the score is, it implies the governance has governance issue is quite low in the country. However, there's a good news that where transparency is low, evaluation is likely to be in demand because the room for improvement is great. So this is the sentence I really liked from the paper I read from Peter. So that's it from the participants forum and some key takeaways. And I'm so happy that I shared with you about these findings. Okay, next, I'd like to briefly also introduce you about our national evaluation system in Mongolia and more of our Mongolian Evaluation Associations, what we've been doing since IPDET. So Mongolia is located in the East Asia, sandwiched between Russia and China, and we have 3.4 million people. And before 1990, we were one of the former Soviet Union bloc countries, which means we had centrally planned economy, And after that, in 1990, we became a free market economy and opened our doors to international organizations and to the whole world. So that's really the beginning of the development evaluation in Mongolia. And up to COVID-19 hit the world, international evaluators were the main workforce doing the evaluation in the country, and local evaluators served mostly as a shadow or like a data collectors. And however, the COVID changed the path and reshaped and reshifted the power to the local evaluators because of the travel restrictions the international evaluators faced. So we started really having a hands-on experience of evaluation work in the past 3 years. And during early 2020, when the COVID hit and many consultancy opportunities were announced in Mongolia due to travel restrictions of international evaluators, it was great that we had a lot of chances of doing the evaluation. However, we did not have national evaluators at hand available to do so, because evaluation is very emerging field, and we do not have a formal training or any training opportunities in the country. So what we did is, like, to me personally, I would Google online Googling evaluation method. So I would come up with IPDET, better evaluation as a professional resources, and associations like Washington Evaluators, American Evaluation Associations, Canadian Evaluation Society, UK Evaluation Society, etc. So I was so grateful that especially better evaluation had all these resources made publicly available, and I would immerse myself listening to all the podcasts and YouTube webinars these organizations made available publicly. And also Washington Evaluators had very low membership fee, only $25 USD. So because of the diversity, equity, inclusion policy, so I was able to become a member of Washington Evaluators and gain benefits from the Evaluation Without Border program. So that it was kind of like a learning by doing in the field of evaluation. But suddenly we realized that how come then in Mongolia we do not have an evaluation association? It seems like all the countries have the evaluation association, and they are in charge of training and building capacity of the national evaluators, and provide resources and let them exchange their information and resources, and connect them with opportunities. So that's really the needs and justification we founded the Mongolian Evaluation Association in 2021. And the vision of our association is to promote professionalization and institutionalization of evaluation at national level. And now we have 65 members, 7 board members, and we are legally registered with the status of national NGO, non-government, non-profit organization. And you see the snapshot of our membership portfolio. We have members from all over Mongolia and USA, Australia, and China. We do not restrict to only Mongolian nationals only. And if we break down by the academic background, majority of them, about 60%, have master's degree, followed by bachelor's and doctorate. And when we look at the employment sector, majority of them work in private sector, which includes freelancers. By the way, this employment sector is based on the IOC's breakdown of membership portfolio. So, and we have government is the number 2, and also I think NGOs and CSOs have the biggest proportion of our members' employment sectors. And we have students. Also, if we look at the overall nature of our members in terms of the experience in evaluation, majority, i.e. 80% of the members are young and emerging evaluators, below 35 and or below 5 years of evaluation experience. And only 20% of them have more than 5 years of experience in evaluation. And we also asked during the membership application form what are the main reasons they join Mongolian Evaluation Association. And they say number 1 and 2 reasons are professional network and capacity building opportunities. So yeah, this is a brief introduction of our members' portfolio. Now I want to provide you some update from what's been happening since IPDET in July. So during Bern training, I asked Steffi that if we could translate all 7 modules during taught at the core course, and she kindly agreed for us to translate and to roll out at our Mongolian Evaluation Associations to our members. So around I think 15 of our members divided the modules, and then we translated all the modules, and our plan is to to teach each module to each other. Whoever translated the module would teach that module to the other members. So we see it as a great opportunity of sharing our knowledge and also building our capacity for ourselves. And also, we hope to finish it by at the end of this year. Also, we have formed the IPDET Global Outreach Proposals Working Group, because IPDET has this great initiative, Global Outreach. So we, within that scope, we met the Cabinet Secretariat of Government of Mongolia, who are in charge of policy development and monitoring and evaluation. So in the picture, you see some of our board members and government officials who are in charge of this department. And then we initiated some good discussions to cooperate and to sign a memorandum of understanding from MEA side to support the government to better advocate and better use the evaluation for their policy works. Also, one of the working groups is membership working group. So we have officially now membership chair, and then we became members of IOC, International Organization for Organizational Cooperation of Evaluation, and we are also a member of Washington Evaluators, American Evaluation Association, and Colorado Evaluation. And also we have a working group on social media, and we post and share what's been going on at the association through our social media channels like LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and we have a devoted website, mongolianevaluation.mn. So you can receive all our information from these channels. Also, we share newses and newsletters to our members through email service list. And we also started producing bi-monthly newsletter. So far we have 3 issues produced. And the latest one is just out, and then you can, if you want to see what's inside of the newspaper, you can visit our Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn, and you can see all the content inside. And also you can become our member to receive all this information and to contribute to our association's vision. And we have started also learning session series. This is a great way of we learning from each other, also building our capacity, because whoever shares or teaches to others are the ones who increase their capacity most. That's what we believe. So our members, board members, we are very actively seeing the good results and the good sides of these learning sessions, and we also inviting some experienced evaluators to join this learning session and to impart their knowledge with us. So also I would love to invite any of you would like to be our speaker and guest, please contact us through our channels and contact me directly also, we can do it. And we'll be happy to host you. And one of the, so you could really think that Mongolian Evaluation Association has 2 big branches in terms of really operationalizing our vision. One is to serve our members and building their capacity, building to become good evaluators. In other branches, to advocate value and use of evaluation to government, and to work with government to institutionalize and to really weave and integrate evaluation into all their policies and laws. So early October this year, we had this new draft law called the draft law on government inspection, which the main idea is to merge 3 different government, the national entities, namely Internal Audit, State Inspection Office, and Monitoring and Evaluation Office of the Cabinet Secretariat, who are in charge of national policy evaluation works. So we formed a small working group at our association to really urge the parliament to not to do so, because Mongolia has done quite a good job to institutionalize and to develop the national evaluation system in the country last maybe 26 years. But then after sudden now, if these 3 merge, then the function of this department will be weakened or even at the risk of being dissolved. So representing our association, I spoke out at the parliament, and then we submitted the letter to the parliament in the written form, what I expressed at the parliament. And also as a follow-up, on 24th of October, our working group at the association, we drafted a 2-page newsletter appeal to the government, to parliament, with the name of, it's a step backward for the monitoring and evaluation of development policy and planning, if this new law is approved. And we brought good practices of international good practices, how it's very important to have standalone government department in overseeing the national policy monitoring and evaluation. And what's the danger of merging all these 3 government entities, and why we have to have a good national evaluation system and ecosystem in the country. So we did not publish it because on 24th of October because there was some request from the Cabinet Secretariat to hold it for some time due to some political sensitive issues. So, but we will maybe just tailor-made some of the wordings and still publish on the national daily newspaper because it's a very good content, and then also we see it as a good advocacy material to give understanding about the value of evaluation in the country, and also to sensitize civil society organizations and then policymakers. So we will be continuing this national level evaluation, and luckily we have some board members who are former government officials, and have good relationship with parliament and government. So we will continue to work with our government and parliament. And last, I think it was November 5th this year, our young and emerging evaluators, more specifically young and student evaluators, participated in the World Evaluation Case Competition for the first time. So you see here the work in progress that they were preparing working on the cases. There was 9 hours of locked down in the Mongolian Evaluation Association office, and they were given a case, I think it was on Ukraine, and how to do the evaluation during the fragile and conflict zone, conflict situation. And I can read you the impression of one of the team members. Since the given time is limited, sufficient preparation is essential for this competition. During the competition, I noticed that the time was running way too fast. Never have I thought that 9 hours could pass in the blink of an eye. I realized that it's very important to organize a similar evaluation case competition in Mongolia. So what then the Dutch team leader. So it was very great experience for our young and student evaluators to take part in this global level evaluation competition. And along with our board member, one of the board members, we coached our students. And I think the result will be out next year, January, and I wish all the best to our young evaluators. And just also recently, we became a youth in evaluation. We committed to become a champion, to promote and to support our young evaluators for evaluation work. So we signed for the manifesto, and so we look forward to support and to work together with our young and emerging evaluators in the coming months and years. Sorry. So this is the last slide, and just a brief overview of what we have so far planned for the next year. So we will be establishing working groups for national evaluation policy advocacy, social impact and private sector, training and teaching of evaluation, translation of evaluation books and resources, and pro bono activities to enable our young and emerging evaluators to have hands-on experience in the evaluation. We very much looking forward to the 2023 and to work with our passionate and excited young and emerging evaluators and all the people, evaluators and people from different backgrounds. And thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, and I wish you all the best and Happy New Year, early Happy New Year. Thank you.